What were you? Was it you who was out last week with a book and got stopped at security or something?
Yeah, with Owen. Did Owen say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to go and see Corrupt FM.
Right.
Well, on the way into, it was at Printworks, which is a clubbing venue, and obviously they have a drugs check.
Yeah.
But it's a very serious drugs check.
Right.
They don't just pat you down, you have to empty all your pockets into a tray.
Yeah.
And so I empty my pockets, and of course I've got Carpe Jugulum by Terry Pratchett in my breast pocket.
Yeah.
And they found it absolutely hilarious that I'd brought a book with me to. But what, you know,
It's not for reading while you're there. It's for on the way and on the way back.
Well, that's what I was saying. And there was a woman behind me in the queue going, oh my god, he's brought a book. Can I take a photo of the tray? And so she's taking a photo of the tray. I'm like, it's not that interesting. It's so weird.
I mean, how could you leave the house without a book anyway? I mean.
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, but it wasn't like
Yes.
you know, it was a gig that started at 8 and finished at 10:30. You know, it's not like you're going out dancing. Although we did do lots of dancing.
Yeah, good. I like Corrupt FM. They're wonderful.
It was a brilliant show. I'd really recommend going.
We had known. Because, yes, they were in Brentford, of course, just down the street.
Yeah.
And the hairdressers was literally on the way to the tube station.
Yeah.
But books, yes, good. So, we like books. I've acquired a few recently. Not all new. One of them brand new, arrived today. So this is Monsieur Jean-Claude Elina's Atlas of Perfumed Botany. And it's £25, and it is, of course, gorgeous. Beautifully bound, because they can bring lots and lots out when they know that everyone in the perfume world's going to want a copy. It's even lovely just to look at, but master perfumer, maker of so many fragrances that we know and love, but Perfume au thé vert, I can't remember them all. Hermès, lots of Hermès, the whole Jardin series. He was Hermès in-house perfume for a while. He did some for, he wasn't an in-house perfume, he was in-house perfumer. So, and his writing's lovely. Obviously this has been translated into English, although he speaks English, but there will be some very interesting phrases which are probably not quite English. I love the way that happens, but it's his take on these beautiful materials, and it's written rather beautifully, of course. So. What would you like to know about? I don't think we...
I don't know what the book is.
Well, okay. It is an atlas of perfumed botany. So it's about...
Smelly plants.
Smelly plants, where they come from, and what they smell like,
Okay.
and his relationship with them.
I would like to know something about vetiver.
Okay. I shall look in the index, because... girly, you know what? I know I shouldn't judge, but there you go. It's at the back. There isn't an index. It must be alphabetical.
That'll be
So
it.
okay, that's all right then. No index. Okay, that upsets me a little bit. Oh no, carrots towards the back.
Oh, carrot. I want to know
This is not
about.
going to help. No, carrot. Okay. My olfactory memory resembles the sky at night. Each scent is a star of greater or lesser importance, sparkling in its own way. I just need to draw mental lines between a few of them to picture a constellation and invent a perfume. Maybe he's not using my solar system. No, this is great. This is kind of legitimizes. Like, people think that, you know, it's not quite like that. Anyway, kidding. A certain interval is all that separates carrot flowers from carrot seeds, the time it takes for the plant to mature. 1,000 tons of carrot seeds are produced in France every year. Once I sat down and amused myself by counting the number of seeds that make up 1 gram. 600. That makes a grand total of 600 billion, a greater number than all the stars in our galaxy, a figure estimated at around 400 billion. Giorno was right. So Giorno here is quoted at the beginning. Now all the stars really look like the flowers of wild carrots. Jean Giorno, the song of the world. I'm sure that sounds more romantic in French.
Yeah.
Really look like the flowers of wild carrots.
Yeah.
Anyway, once they have been weighed, sorted and inspected, second grade seeds are used to make essential oil. The carrot root does not provide any extract. I like that. Second grade seeds are used to make essential oil. I mean, it's not the finest possible quality. Ah! What's a first grade seed carrot? They must be the ones that we eat.
Yeah.
Because they are complex, essential oils and absolutes that are natural in origin, are talkative. An expression I owe to my daughter. They are also self-centered because they speak of themselves. Jasmine only ever says jasmine, rose, rose, and lavender, lavender. They're all familiar, and what they say doesn't open onto anything new. Everyone already knows the story, unless they are brought into relation with synthetic products, which are so abstract that they disclose infinite horizons. So, it's beauty. It's absolute beauty. With some nice little facts like how many billion carrot seeds are produced.
Yeah, that's a good fact.
Yes.
Great.
Anyway, it's out. It's lovely. And here's the illustration of carrot seed.
No, I like that.
Isn't it lovely? And
Ooh.
in those illustrations are perfume bottles. They have been incorporated. Things which I do believe he's probably made. So, because there's definitely here in the cardamom an Hermes bottle. I recognise those. So, I think the illustrations include his fragrances. Sweet orange. It's just beautiful. I'm going to sit down because it's just arrived today. I haven't read it all yet. But yes. It is. It's a lovely, lovely thing, and it's the kind of thing which everyone probably ought to get for their birthday if they like perfume. It's a lovely gift, and also useful for people who like perfume and want to know about them. I accidentally bought 2. I hadn't realised I'd done that, but I did.
Okay.
Maybe I should have a giveaway. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'll keep it and I'll have a backup. Now another one I got recently, quite difficult to get hold of. It popped up, you probably can't see it because it's reflecty. The Science and Art of Perfumery by Edward Sagarin, I know. I could peel the cover off so we can... And then it looks completely different underneath. I much prefer the dust sheet dust cover. 1945, then 1954. And what's lovely about this is it's not beautifully produced like Pretty One, but it explains chemistry and the way that perfumes are made in just well, when I say beautiful, it's clear. It's clear but entertaining. And this popped up on eBay because I buy old books off eBay because I won't buy anything off Amazon because and it just keeps sending me old books about random things like car engines. And as long as it's old, even though he thinks, oh, she likes old books, yeah, she might like an old book on, I don't know, building techniques. But I don't. And every now and again it sends me one on perfume. So I bought this. Let's go sticky stuff and fragrant too. I don't think it's going to be easy to get hold of a copy of this, but I'm thinking of just I don't know, just record it and reading bits out. So we've had a few chapters on other natural materials. He says, it might now seem that our story of natural perfumery materials would be complete, including as it does the essential oils, the flower oils, and the various animal secretions. Omitted are only one group, more important historically than industrially, the gums and resins found in trees and plants. Tree exudances as the botanist calls these sticky sap-like substances, play a role in our lives that affects more than perfumes. They include the £1 million of chicle, which when sweetened and flavoured becomes chewing gum, and all the vital natural rubber. I've never heard of that. Oh, that must be what chiclets are made of then. Chewing gum, chicle. Anyway, resins, gums, balsams, oleoresins, resinoids are words the perfumer is constantly encountering, and yet they are not easy to define. The boundaries between these groups are hardly discernible. All trees contain some resinous materials. You see, that's what I want to read, because I keep being asked what's the difference. I'm thinking, I'm not sure. And finally he puts down here, well, that's because we don't really know. Thank you. The simple manner of getting this material out of the tree merely by making an incision and collecting it as it flows would explain why the ancients discovered these substances long before they were using the more fragrant oils from flowers. A list of the resins found on the perfumer's shelf include, among others, olibanum, opoponax, storax, balsam, benzoin, and the almost mythical myrrh. See, it's 1954, but really handy. I think once I finish this, I will understand a lot more than I thought I did. I think it has in it all kinds of things that perfumers are assumed to know, and yet no one actually tells you. Next. Right, I'm just looking at... So this is alphabet. Here we go. Da, da, da. This is Sweet Scented Flowers and Fragrant Leaves by Donald MacDonald.
Donald MacDonald.
Donald MacDonald, you could have it. So this was recommended by Poucher, which was... So Poucher's books were recommended by Kalkin and Jelinek. So they're classics. The lettering, it's even on the... It's even better. It's just so lovely. So this is pretty old. This one used to belong to somebody Coleman. It has 16 coloured plates in it, it says. There's one of them. The Carnation. So, Donald MacDonald's Sweet Scented Flowers and Fragrant Leaves. 1895. This one was printed. Again, mostly for beauty. I found something just in here, which is, here we go. It's all by the Latin names. The Dipteryx odorata, the Central American tree that produces the scented tonga bean of commerce. It used to be called tonga, spelt with a G,
Tonga.
not tonka, spelt with a K. That's what I find fascinating.
Tonga's a place.
Yes, but not
Where the beans
in Central America, yes.
Yeah, no.
Tonga, where the beans don't come from. It then says, so Monarda didima is what they call bergamot. It's not called that now. The scarlet monarda. Oh no, it's different bergamot. There are two types of bergamot. One is a plant, and one's a flower with just flower red things. Grows in several different levels, and the other that's different. I've confused myself. The other bergamot is a citrus fruit, so maybe that's under citrus bergamia, which it ought to be. In the meantime, here's an almond blossom. Do perfumers need this? Need? Difficult to say. No. But it does have a little bit in about the very few scented lilies that there are. Bergamot. See, no, it doesn't. It says C. monarda didima. So it doesn't. Citrus. I'm just having fun. It's not Cistus, the rock rose. Citrus. Oh, it just has the whole lot just under citrus. We have the orange, lemon, lime, citrus, shaddock, etc. Do you know what the shaddock is?
No.
Grapefruit.
Oh.
It was named after Captain Shattuck, who first discovered it. He thinks.
Yeah.
You know, the colonial name for grapefruit says, oh, look, there's a thing, I'll call it after myself. Why not? But yeah, it used to be called the Shattuck fruit, not the grapefruit. So anyway, if you enjoy beautiful ancient books, there are a few copies of this hanging around.
Sweet scented flowers and fragrant
Sweet scented
leaves.
flowers and fragrant leaves by Donald MacDonald. Help yourself to one. I'd say because why wouldn't you? The only trouble is that it's then got this massive list of other books, select list of books in all departments of literature which it recommends to you. Probably, okay, quick, subliminal, the perfume companion. But why does asparagus make your wee smell? I recommend this because it's, Andy Brunning wrote that, it's sort of about chemistry, but it's about chemistry in a way that doesn't scare anybody. His organisation is called Compound Interest. Here we go. What causes blue cheese to smell so strong? I mean, it's sort of a children's book, but it's wonderful, and a lot of us don't really remember what we learnt at school in chemistry anyway. So we've got, why are some people allergic to nuts? It's got all that in there. Why can nutmeg act as a hallucinogen?
Yeah, I had a mate tried to chew on a nutmeg.
Did he just break his teeth?
Yeah,
Did he actually,
yeah, it didn't work.
That's why there's such a thing as nutmeg graters exist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've got my great Aunt Dolly's nutmeg grater.
But you have to have, but you know, I think you'd have to have an enormous amount of nutmeg.
I think so.
More nutmeg than you could possibly eat.
I should probably read up how much it says. Why does adding some fruits to jelly stop it setting? But it's the people who said to me, oh, if only I knew it would have helped me at Perfumery, I would have paid more attention in chemistry.
Yeah.
I think this is the book that will help you get some of that back, a little of that back, without it being the slightest bit scary.
Mm-hmm.
Why does orange juice taste bitter after brushing your teeth? It's the sulfates that are in toothpaste.
Oh, is that so?
Surfactant molecules in toothpaste affect our sense of taste, and they alter the phospholipid membrane structures which usually inhibit bitterness, but surfactants inhibit sweet taste receptors, reducing sweetness. So,
Well,
yeah, there you go.
interesting. You're just getting bits. You're just tasting a different part of the orange.
Mm-hmm. So, are they sulfates, by the way? Not toxic.
Yes, and also not in perfume.
Why do artichokes make drinks taste sweeter? The cynarin is a major compound that affects sweetness. So
why does asparagus make your wee smell?
Oh.
That's what I want to know. Because there are three categories of people.
Mm-hmm.
People who their wee smells after they eat asparagus.
Yeah.
People whose wee doesn't smell after eating asparagus. And the third group is people who just can't smell it.
Oh, can't they? I always thought you could. Asparagus, page 39. Okay, here we go. The answer. That was a bit mean, wasn't it, not to do that? Good point. Okay.
Yeah.
Why does asparagus make your wee smell? Story time at Perfume Book Club. Oh, right, it says, as you say, then again, you may have noticed nothing of the sort. There's a scientific explanation for that too. The chemicals that cause the effect are all suspected to stem from just one chemical compound, asparagusic acid, which is only found naturally only in asparagus.
I think he's making this up.
No.
It's asparagusic acid.
Asparagusic acid. Yeah, but it's only found in asparagus, so that's what they call it, which makes sense. Why call it something different?
Yeah.
It has been pinpointed as the probable source of several organic compounds that have been shown to affect the odour of urine. When we eat asparagus, the asparagusic acid molecules contained therein are broken down by digestion into a number of sulfur-containing organic compounds. In studies, technique known as gas chromatography mass spectrometry, which we know, GCMS, was used to analyse the headspace of urine produced after consumption of asparagus. So lovely. Headspace is the gas space immediately above the liquid surface. Yes. People do that for perfumes. Which is occupied by light volatile compounds in the liquid, and analysis of this is used in identifying odour-causing compounds. So this also explains headspace. It's wonderful. So, the analysis of post-asparagus urine showed the presence of several compounds that were not present or present in negligible amounts in normal urine. The primary compounds present in quantities 1,000 times greater than in normal urine were methanethiol, yes, and dimethyl sulfide. The compounds dimethyl sulfoxide and dimethyl sulfone were also present, and it was suggested that they modified the aroma to give it a sweet edge, sweet in inverted commas. The human nose is very sensitive to thiol compounds. Are you wishing you hadn't asked now?
No, it's great.
Okay. A concentrate as low as a few parts per billion is enough for us to be able to detect them. To give you an idea of how bad thiol compounds can smell, they're also found in skunk spray. So, increase the concentration of these compounds in urine. The increase after eating asparagus goes a long way to explaining why the effect is so potent. The odour is detectable remarkably quickly after eating asparagus, within 15 to 30 minutes. Interesting.
It is very quick. That was going to be my next question.
There he goes, because it's that strong. The ability to smell the aroma of asparagus-influenced urine is not universal. Research has shown that a proportion of people are unable to detect the change in smell. One study finding 2 out of 31 people were unable to detect a difference in odour after eating asparagus. It was initially thought that everyone produced the odour, but only some can smell it. However, it has since been suggested after a range of research that not all people exhibit the effect after eating asparagus.
Here we go. That's what I said.
Exactly what you said. While another study placing the figure of people who do produce asparagus urine at 43%. I do.
I certainly do.
Yeah.
Some do, some don't, some can't smell it.
Yeah, and then there's a picture there of asparagusic acid and the breakdown process.
Is there an aroma chemical of asparagus? Not that we smell, but
Oh, well, I guess if somebody made that, we could put it into asparagus. But it tends to be that things which have...
So there isn't an asparagus essential oil?
No, because asparagus is too watery to be able to get an essential oil from it.
Right.
If you dried asparagus and then extracted it by critically cooling CO2, you could maybe get an asparagus CO2 extract. But another thing is that lots of sulfides tend to be poisonous.
Mm-hmm.
They're natural.
Mm-hmm.
But so it might be that it wouldn't be safe, even if we did want to smell of asparagus.
I think that, talking about the theme of green fragrances, if you could recreate the asparagus wee, that would be the greenest fragrance of all.
Yep. Well, you could just... No, this is... No, no.
You were about to say, just douse yourself in...
Asparagus wee. I was.
What's the next book?
I'm sorry. Yeah, the next book, there are various issues this around. This is the Perfumery and Essential Oil Record. This one is from 1924. And it's not so much fascinating for the tiny content, but for the advertisements for me. So this, every month there would be an issue. This is like the magazine, the record, what we'd probably look up these days on Tinternet, of every essential oil that was produced and the price you'd expect to pay for it, and which country it was coming from, and how much the harvest had yielded, and this was public, which is great. There are also features written in this.
So there'd be one of them every month, would there? No.
One of these every month.
Oh my god.
And also, in here, formulas.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was a handy magazine that had lots of data.
Yeah.
Plus, the obituaries are here as well. Mr. F.G. Adair Roberts, J.P., Director and Vice Chairman of Mrs. A. Boak Roberts and Company, who was in his 82nd year, died at Boscombe, Hants. He had been associated with the company a period of almost 50 years, taking a lively interest in its concerns up to the end. He was widely known and esteemed in the trade. Bless you, Mr. Roberts. Mr. Fauson died, and possibly Falcon in 22 Sutton Court, Chiswick. I know where that is. A friend of mine used to live in Sutton Court, Chiswick. He was a victim of influenza, his death taking place after a fortnight's illness. Faucon, a Frenchman from Rouen, he'd been in the business in London for about 20 years, was widely known in the essential oil trade. He was only 44. He died of the flu in 1924.
Wow.
Oh, yes. He represented Messrs. J&E Saussure Grasse for natural prime material, and Messrs. Grolier and Salt of Paris for synthetics. There's loads and loads of mentions of synthetics in this book. It's as if nobody was afraid at that time.
No.
There's a paper here on a Popanax by E.M. Holmes, FLS. On the advertisements, I said I loved the ads.
Clove, orange, spike and sandalwood.
Yes, Spanish spike. H. Rubeck, distiller of essential oils, 59 Mark Lane, London. I know where that is. And the works were in Rotherhithe. They were distilling essential oils in London. The industry up until about 1939 was actually really quite huge. I turned straight over to his next advertisement in a different month. They seem to be doing all right. But
this is all of the months together, is it?
It's all of the months, yeah.
I was going to say.
Dulcie Floor. Yeah, so this is, I managed to get a year's worth.
So, I think you should make one of the formulas
up. I think I'll publish that. Everybody's...
Take a photo of that, yeah.
Yeah, I will. Oh, look, there's Frederick George Adair Roberts. That's his big obituary.
Wow.
I'm kind of like interested in Mr. F.G. Adair Roberts now. Yes, the full story of his life. Imports from the USA. It's just, you got to feel this. It's printed letterpress, and you can feel.
Oh yeah.
The dents in the page still. This is 98 years old. A contribution to the study of concrete oil of orris by P. Longley and J. Goby. I don't know when I'm going to read all of these. A correspondent calls attention to the beverage, dietetic and therapeutic qualities of concentrated orange juice without preservative. It is about 7 times the concentration of fresh orange juice. The concentration is carried out in glass enamelled plant in vacuo, which reduces the boiling point to 98 degrees, so that the delicate flavour and the health value of the resulting concentrate are claimed to be retained.
Brilliant.
Abstract disinfecting powder. It's British synthetic menthol in America. There you go. Recrystallised menthol from good old Boak Roberts and Company.
Wow.
Nerd.
Brilliant.
Yes. Ambergris. Value of grey is 80 shillings to 90 shillings per ounce as to quality, with black at 40 shillings. Civet is quoted at 12 and 6pence per ounce. For fair quality and in original horns at 13 shillings and 6pence for smalls. So, Nerds, just get yourself a copy of the Perfumery and Essential Oil record. I've got one from 1910, and I've got another one from 1939, which is it's like, guys, you did not know what was about to hit you. But Walsall Lithographic Company, makers of embossed seals and show cards by all methods, featuring Sherlock Holmes and Watson in the advertisement. That's probably enough about this, because I could just
What a
read
great
it forever.
thing.
It is. It's a there's a nice modern ad from 1924. Some of them, it's interesting. You can tell the style of the company at the time from whether or not they're embracing modern fonts or if they've gone really old style. And Gerard Brothers of Nottingham, they've gone modern. A vacancy occurs for a first-class traveller to represent a large fruit essences factory for the London area and principal provincial centres. They have good connections. Those having good connections in confectionery, mineral water, etc., should write to box number 543, care of T Tunnel Sykes Limited, 329 High Holborn, London WC1. But I've got a plan. My plan is to have a little walk round London and visit 13A Finsbury Square, see what's there now, and 25 Bartlett's Buildings, Holborn Circus. There's one factory that's still there in Barnes and it's vacant.
Wow.
But I can't afford it because it's like 300,000 a year.
Ah.
Yeah, on that note.
Great.
Thus endeth the book club for this year, probably. I'll show you a book that says nothing on the cover.